everyone, welcome to our channel of Nagesh Karasgi Orchid School. My name is Kajal Kulkarni and I am going to teach grade 6 English supplementary. Okay, so now today we are going to see chapter number 3, the old clock shop. Now listening to the name, the old clock shop, what comes in your mind? That tick 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 tick. Imagine a person who is the owner of that clock shop, how his ears must be, means how he must be always listening that sound, that continuous tick tick tick, and imagine that it is a clock shop. So many clocks and watches may be there, right? So that person who is in that shop, just imagine how that sound must be coming in his ears. So today we are going to see a story about this old clock shop which is in USA. Shall we start? Okay. So it was an Christmas Eve. See, it's Christmas Eve and closing time for shops. Ray's old clock shop is still open. Two shoppers call at this late hour. Now Christmas Eve, and it is the story about USA as well as Christmas Eve. So you all must be now knowing that Christmas Eve in USA in December, in month of December, there is a lot of snowfall there, right? There is a lot of snowfall there and all the roads are covered with snow, white sheets of snow. Now it was a Christmas Eve and the shop was about to close. The time was to close the shop, but this Mr. Ray, he had kept the shop still open. It was late night, but the shop was still open. Why? Why he must have kept it open? So we will see it in this story. Christmas Eve had arrived. As last minute shoppers were going home, a thick white sheet of snow lay over Salt Lake City, USA. Yet the lights were still burning in the old clock shop as Ray, its old deaf owner, worked on the clock he had sold that day. Now this is saying that it was a Christmas evening and all the last minute shoppers means what? Those who are doing the shopping in last moment, there is still shopping going on. So such shoppers were going back to their houses, to their homes, and the road, the city or the streets were all covered with the sheet of white snow. But still, as I told, that the lights of this old clock shop was still burning. And who is the owner of this shop? Mr. Ray. He is the owner, and what qualities they have written? That he is old and deaf. When I began with the story, I said that it is a clock shop, old clock shop, and so many watches and clocks are in that shop. So imagine that sound, click click, tick tock, tick tock. But it is here said that the owner, Mr. Ray, is very old and he is also deaf. Can you see Mr. Ray? This is Mr. Ray here. Now why he had kept his shop open? He was working on the clock that he had sold that day. Sold that day means the clock, old clock which had come to him and he had paid money for that. On that clock he was working. Having finished his work, Ray stood up and was on his way to the back room when a cold rush of air from the front door hit the back of his neck. Yes, so Mr. Ray had just finished with whatever work he was doing on the old clock, and he just stood up and he was winding up his work, means he was about to pack all the things, and he was on the way to back room. Back room means where he was sitting, behind him there was one room, and he was just entering, winding up the work and going in that back room. And suddenly he felt cold air on his neck. Means what has happened? Someone had opened the main door and was entering inside the shop. As he felt that cold air on his neck, he turned back. He turned to meet a last minute shopper, but this old wise eyes told him that this was not a shopper. Yes, see, now it is turning something very interesting or very suspense type story, and this story is really something very suspense. This old man turned who has entered inside. The old man thought that it is someone last minute shopper, someone who is still shopping, and he is the person who has come for shopping in the shop. But when he turned back, he saw to that person, he realized that this man who had entered the shop was not a shopper. Now what do you think? Who he must be? Let's see who he was. He saw two men he saw two men, one in his 20s, the other closer to 50. Now this old man, the shopkeeper, found two persons entering in the shop. One was 50 years, closer to 50. One was closer to 50 and one was in his 20s, means he was nearby 20 years of age. And this old man Ray, he came to know that they are not shoppers, they have not come for shopping. Then what they have exactly come for? Let's see. The younger man remained at the door. The older man approached the counter with no sign of friendliness in his eyes. See now, the young boy who was in the age of 20s, he remained near the main gate of the shop. He did not come inside, but the one who was in the age, means in the age of 50 years, he came inside. And this old man, this shop owner, Mr. Ray, he did not find any friendliness in the eyes of this person who entered the shop. Means he was not at all friendly. Ray was able to hide his growing fear as he slowly pushed a notepad and a pencil across the counter. This old man Ray, he was now knowing, means he was very much afraid, and he started fearing. The fear started increasing in him, but he did not show his fear. Now just imagine someone is coming to your house and they both are means unknowing, they are stranger to us, but one is standing to the door and one is entering in the house, and that person is not having at all a friendly appearance. And what will you feel then? You will start you will be afraid now what he is going to do. So, same way Mr. Ray was very much afraid, but he was not showing that he is afraid of that person. And what he did, he slowly pushed the notepad and a pencil towards that person what was there on the counter. Now, why do you think he must have done this? Yes, because he was deaf, he couldn't hear. So, for that reason he pushed slowly the notepad and a pencil towards the across the counter. He smiled at the unfriendly face. Who smiled? Mr. Ray. He smiled at the unfriendly face, then pointed to his ears and shook his head from side to side. Means this old man Ray, he gave a smile, a friendly smile, and he is showing his ears. He is pointing towards his ears and he is shaking his head side by side. Means he wants to say that please, he is pushing that notepad and pencil across the table. Why he is doing so? He is telling that person, that stranger, that I cannot hear. Okay. So, for that reason he is smiling, giving a friendly smile and pointing towards his ears and shaking his head side by side that he cannot hear. A quick look of surprise changed the man's face as he studied the notepad, then turned and said something to his friend. Now, this stranger who had come to the shop, he was definitely not a shopper, he didn't wanted to buy something, but this old man Ray, he wanted to know why he has come. So, he guided him that whatever you want, write in this notepad. So, this person what he did, the one who entered inside, he gave a surprised look and his face changed. He saw that this old man cannot hear, and so he turned behind and told the one who was standing outside that he is unable to hear. Means he said something to his friend and this old man couldn't hear what he said. So, now he became more tense. Now, what exactly they are coming for and they are looking for? What do you think? Yes, children, you all must be thinking that these two persons have come to loot this Mr. Ray, right? But there is a twist in the story. So, let us see what is that twist. Ray used the chance to look closely at the man, paying attention to the shape of a gun and a restless hand in the man's right coat pocket. Yes, now when he turned back and he was saying something to that young boy, Mr. Ray got a chance and he took a look at that person who was in the age of 50 years. He studied his appearance. See, now even though he was deaf, this old man, even though he was deaf, but he could understand what kind of person are coming and what they are exactly they want to know or they want from Mr. Ray. So, he saw the shape of the gun. That man was carrying a gun along with him, and also he saw his restless hand in one of the pocket. And what did he find? That man was really something in need. He wanted to say something, but he was not able to express him. So, this Mr. Ray saw the gun and his hand in the pocket. Anger boiled within him. Within him means anger. This Mr. Ray was very angry now, but he kept calm. He kept very quiet. He didn't show his anger. Anger boiled within him, but it was kept down by an inner voice that said, "Be still." Mr. Ray's inner voice means the voice which came from in, means some our inner soul tells us something, right? That it said that please be calm, be still. He wrote on the notepad, may I help you? Who must have written this? Mr. Ray. Mr. Ray wrote on the notepad that may I help you? For the first time, the older man looked directly at Ray and smiled. Now, this was the first time when this stranger who entered in the shop, he looked directly to Mr. Ray and he gave a smile. A cruel mocking smile means mocking means funny smile. Cruel means means very sharp. He gave a very sharp and funny smile looking at Mr. Ray. They both understood why he was there. Who both understood? The Mr. Ray as well as this person understood why he had come there. Why his friend remained at the door. They looked like men who were down on their luck and were now ready to try something they could later be sorry about. Yes, now Mr. Ray came to know that these two friends, why they are here and why one remained outside the door. And while looking at them, this Mr. Ray understood that they were down on their luck, means they were having bad days were going on, bad luck, they were having bad luck, and because of that bad luck they had come to this old man's shop. See, now while listening we are thinking something is coming in our mind because the story is very much unknowing. You all don't know the story. So, what is coming in our mind? That maybe these two person must have entered, he was having a gun, they must be they must have entered to loot Mr. Ray, to take away all the money. So, even Mr. Ray was thinking that these two person, they are having they were down with on their luck, means they were not having good days, bad luck was going on, their bad days were going on, and were now ready to try something they could later be sorry about. So, he was thinking, this is what Mr. Ray was thinking, that they are trying to do something and later on they will be definitely sorry for what they have done. So, this is what all came in Mr. Ray's mind. The clocks ticked on. The clock sound was going on. It was just making that noise, tick, 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 tick. But Ray calmly wrote another message. Have you come to pick up a clock or a watch? These two, this man who had entered inside, even he is not saying anything. He is giving a very weird smile, a very funny smile after the message was written, may I help you? And then suddenly Mr. Ray started thinking negatively. He is thinking that this person, one is standing outside, why? He is watching that nobody can enter inside the shop, and if means they have come to do something bad, their bad luck is going on, and so they have come inside the shop to do something different which they will be sorry about later on. Then the voice of the clock was going on, the sound was going on, and Mr. Ray was really very calm and quiet, and he wrote another message. What did he write? He wrote that, do you want to purchase any clock or a watch? He wrote this message on the notepad. Then he pointed to the loan board filled with hanging clocks and pocket watches. He was not a pawnbroker. Okay, now here this Mr. Ray, he pointed out to the loan board filled with hanging clocks and pocket watches. he was not a pawnbroker. Means this person, but at the same time couldn't say no to the needy people who placed their old watches or clocks before him for anything they could get. Now, what these sentence means? It means that this old fellow, Mr. Ray, he pointed his finger towards one board. There was one board, and on that board many clocks and watches were hanging, okay, and that board was called as loan board. What it was called as? Loan board. Now, what do you mean by loan? Loan means someone gives some asset, and against that asset some money is given to them. So, this old man Ray showed them that board, that this is the old board, loan board, and these are the clocks and watches hanging there. So, do you want anything from this? But he was not a pawnbroker, means he was not this Mr. Ray was not a broker, but he was always ready to help people whenever they were in need of money. This Mr. Ray used to help them. How he used to help them? The people used to come with their old watches, and they used to give that watch to that Mr. Ray, and Mr. Ray used to give some money against those old watches. So, he was not able to say no to those needy people. He used to always help them, and those watches were hanged in front of those loan board. So, before him, for anything they could, means he showed them, pointed them that whether they want something from there. He loaned more than he should. They would be there when the owners wanted them back at the same price he had paid with no interest. Now, this Mr. Ray, what he did, he used to give those, take those watches, and he used to give loan against that. So, whatever loan amount was given, the person, when they were returning back, he used to return that watch or clock to that person, and he was not taking any interest for that whatever money they had taken. Means what money, if suppose I have one watch, I have given that watch to Mr. Ray and I took 10,000 rupees from him. But when I went after many months or after few days or after n number of days, when I went to Mr. Ray, I took my watch back and I returned back 10,000 to Mr. Ray without giving any extra money. So, this Mr. Ray used to always help people in this way, and he used to charge no interest on any of the money, and he had given lot of money to many people. Whatever means he was having, he had helped more than that. Okay. So, then the old man seemed to feel it a little easier, took out his hand from his pocket and quickly looked at the watch on his wrist. This old man means not the shop owner, this older man here means the one who had entered the shop. Now, what he, after Mr. Ray explained him all this, that this is what I am doing, then this person, he became very satisfied. He was he felt very easy to talk with Mr. Ray. So, what he did, he removed his hand from the pocket and quickly he looked at the watch on his wrist. Then Mr. Ray came to know that he want to give this watch. How much will you give me for this? The man wrote. He wrote on the notepad that this is my watch. He removed his hand from the pocket and looked at that watch on his wrist, and he said, he wrote on the notepad, how much will you give me for this? And he was really ashamed for that he is selling his watch. Ray noticed a little shame in the grey eyes looking at him. The watch was nothing special and yet had great powers. It was something to exchange a way out of a bad situation. Now, Mr. Ray, this old man, noticed little shame in the eyes of this person. The one who entered in the shop, Mr. Ray saw in his eyes that he was having shame. He was having some difficulty. So, in that difficult situation and in that bad situation, he wanted to sell this or exchange this watch. But the watch was not special. It was not that good, but it had great powers. It had working condition. So, Mr. Ray, knowing that great need had brought the man to his shop in the first place, Ray asked, "How much do you need for it?" Mr. Ray, he was a very kind person. So, what he did? He saw that this person is very much in need of money. So, he asked him, "How much do you need for this?" Then the second man replied back on the notepad, "Whatever it's worth. Whatever the worth of the watch is, you give me that much." But Mr. Ray was very kind and he found that this person was very much in need of money. He was not able to express himself. He was having shame in his eyes. So, what he did? Mr. Ray reached into his cash box, pulled out a $50 note and passed it into the man's hand. As they shook hands, Ray looked into the man's eyes. They seemed to say, "Thank you." Now, Mr. Ray reached to his cash box. He went to the cash box and he removed a $50 note from it, and he gave that $50 note to that man, and they both shook their hands. They shake their hands, and when they were shaking their hands, Mr. Ray looked into the eyes of that man, and those eyes were pretending or seemed to say thank you. They were very much thankful. That man was very much thankful to that old man. They both knew the watch wasn't worth that much. See, even Mr. Ray was knowing, and that man was also knowing that the watch was of not that value, but still, to help that person to come out from the bad situation, Mr. Ray gave him $50 note. Before turning to leave, the man wrote, "I will be back to pick it up as soon as I can. Merry Christmas." While he was back, he turned his back, means he was supposed to leave after shaking hands and expressing his thanking to Mr. Ray. He was supposed to leave, and he turned back again and he wrote on the notepad. What did he write on the notepad? The person who entered, the 50-year man who entered the shop, he wrote on the notepad that "I will be back to pick it up as soon as I can, and Merry Christmas." He gave his greetings as Merry Christmas to that old man. The little story ended on the half hour with the clocks striking all together. Now, this small story, it came to an end in just half an hour, and the clock started striking all together. Means in the shop the clock timing was same. So, all they started making the sound all together. The timepieces, which had been looking on silently all the while, rang out the time with such feeling that even Ray thought he could hear them. See, now what happened? The timepiece means the watches. Now, when the person entered the shop, their conversation was going on, right? So, the whole time when these two were having their they were not talking, but they were sharing their expressions. So, that time the watches or the clocks in the shop, they were calmly watching all the situation what was going on in the shop. And then suddenly when this person greeted him Merry Christmas, the watches and the clocks, they started striking all together, they started making the sound, and this Mr. Ray thought that even I can listen to those sound, and these clocks and watches are very much happy. They are very much happy, and their sweet musical message was filled with hope. The timeless message of peace on earth, goodwill towards all, was felt by the three men who stood in the old clock shop. Now this timeless message of peace and peace on earth, see, he didn't hurt he didn't hurt that old man, but he had just come to take the help. So this message of peace and goodwill towards it is send the message, it has passed the message on this eve, Christmas Eve, and this all bells started ringing. It was 12 o'clock and the all bells started ringing and singing merrily. So this was all about this old clock shop story. Read the chapter, underline the difficult words, and any doubts we will clear in the meet. Till then, thank you.